Matthew here from MiniWarGaming.com, and today is day 8, or the second week, of our Dark Potential fundraiser. We are at over $44,000, so things have obviously slowed down a little bit over the past couple days, but still it's fantastic where we are right now. I want to bring you some updates. I have some new concept art, nothing too tremendous yet, but some things I do want to show you and get your feedback on. Because everything's still, even with the concept art, there's actually concept art I don't even show you because I don't like it. So I'm actually putting money into just making sure we get the right concept artist. I don't want to skimp on any of that. And with the fundraising that we've been able to do here, I don't have to. I can actually make sure that the concepts and the sculpts are really good. Still looking for more artists, of course. I'll put a link below or above, depending where you're watching this. If you want to suggest an artist, please link to their gallery in the forum post where I'm going to link you there. So let's show you some of the new concepts first off, just to kind of see where we're going with this. Unfortunately, I don't have any new concepts for the Reclaimers or Zlanthos yet. Hopefully, by the end of this week, I'll have something for the Reclaimers. Cross your fingers. The Zlanthos, we're still working on. We're not quite somewhere where I want to show it yet, because it's still a little ways to go. But I'm hoping we'll get the Reclaimers. So the guy that did the corporation ones, I asked him to whip together a bunch of different weaponry, because obviously with the weapons you saw there, they're very high-tech, and the corporation doesn't have all sorts of high-tech weaponry. That's more the Reclaimers. So I said, well, can you come up with some ballistic weapons, some flame weapons, maybe some energy weapons? And he did. So here's the ballistic weapons. And you can see these are just typical ones that you would see, which is what you're going to see in the game as well. Because when it comes down to it, when technology is lost, you have to kind of go back to the things that are easier to manufacture and easier to maintain. And, well, ballistic weapons are typically easier to maintain than energy weapons. Not that I have any scientific basis for that, because we don't really use energy weapons. But we're going to say that that's the case. The energy weapons will have, higher tech components that'll be more difficult to find replacements for. But, yeah, anyway, here's some ballistics. Here's some of his flamethrowers. I really like the one on the top. And so they're kind of cool as well. And then here's my favorite one. Here's his plasma weapons. Now, what's a plasma weapon anyway? So this is more like energy weapons in the end. So I can see all sorts of cool things that these weapons are going to be doing. So these weapons are not specific to any of the factions yet. It'll obviously be a human faction, because the Zlanthos stuff is going to look much different. It'll look alien. Obviously, the more advanced it looks, the more likely it is to be used with the Reclaimers. But we'll still keep some of the cool gadgets and stuff for the corporation as well. They'll have some tricks up their sleeves. So there you go. So there's some weapon upgrades or weapon concepts just for the game. So I know that's not as exciting as seeing the full concepts of the races and everything. So, and I know some of them look like other weapons. Weapons are hard to really get totally unique, because a gun's a gun's a gun. It points, it has a trigger, and it's got to make it look cool, right? But here's another guy who's working on the salvagers. Now, I showed you the other salvager, the Scrapling concept art. And the same guy has created a couple other concepts. So here, right here, is the defense Scrapling. I don't actually know the name of it yet, but it's basically going to be around the same size as a Scrapling. It'll be maybe a little bigger, and it'll be armed. It'll be there to defend everything else. So the Scraplings will be a model in the game. They'll just be a close combat model, because they'll use their little laser cutters and claws to fight in close combat. And then you'll have the defense ones, which are basically just Scraplings with guns. So these are the very, very basic defensive ones. We're still going to make other ones as well. And the weapon on it, this will vary. It won't necessarily be the weapon that you see right there, but it's the idea that you can see in concept. And here's another concept. It's the heavy loader. It's where the Scraplings bring all their scrap. And so it's once again another basic concept. It's very tall, and it has stuff that gets piled into it, and then it can actually do some breakdown of the stuff inside, and then it takes it back to the yard, the scrap yard, where the main larger components or the main machines will break it down and make other things out of it. And that was not really going to be turned into a model in the game, at least not at first. For one thing, it would be huge, and it would be a very heavy metal model. So it's obviously going to have to be done in resin or plastic, whatever we end up with. And it doesn't really have any in-game, well, it's not really an offensive unit. So it might be cool to have it later on for like an objective marker, or, a protect the caravan kind of scenario. But that's obviously not what we're looking for at first. We want to get the basics down first. So I wanted him still to do the concept, just because it'll be important for pictures and everything. The next thing I'm going to be having him work on is the concept for the CSU, which is the Central Salvaging Unit, which is basically the commander salvager of the group. So it'll be a little different. And I'm also going to have him do a solo, which will be like some sort of weapons platform. So it'll be a heavier salvager that has some heavier weaponry loaded on it. I see the salvagers kind of focusing around just brute force in a lot of the things that they do. So let's see, is that all the concepts that I have? Oh yeah, and here's another one for another heavy loader. This is made by somebody else, the same guy who made the space elevator and the London environment art. He's going to be making another piece of environment art that's based in Toronto. And it's going to have actual things in it. It'll have salvagers in the background and some people in it as well. And so he had to come up with a basic concept. He didn't realize we were also working on a loader concept, and so he created his own. So this is what his is, and this one's full color. What do you think? Which one do you like better? And remember, this one's full color, so it's kind of cheating a bit. Do you like this one better? Or do you like the other one made by the other guy better? In the end, the heavy loader doesn't matter too much because it won't be made into a model at first, but it'll still start to kind of push into the look and feel overall of the salvagers. So that's the first part. Second part, we're having a contest. Right now we have a short story contest going on, but we need to rename the corporation and come up with a logo. And so I'm holding a contest for that officially starting now. Now, the way that you enter this contest, there will be a link below or above this video that goes to a forum topic. What you're going to do, what's required to enter the contest is to reply to the forum topic, and you need to come up with a name for the corporation. So it'll actually be the name of whatever business it used to be built on. I need a logo for it. It needs to be very simple. Like, okay, here's a picture of the corporation guy made by the one artist. You can see that little C that's on them. That's got to be replaced. So it's got to be something simple enough to just go on it. Whether it'll actually be decals or whether the people will have to paint on themselves, I don't know. We'll figure that out. But we need a name, a logo, and then like a 1-paragraph summary, maybe 2 paragraphs, very short summary on what the company used to do, just so we have some sort of flavor to them. Now, this contest will run until we have a new name for the corporation that I like. So there's a chance that I won't choose anybody's. I have to warn you that. If I don't like anybody's, I'm not going to choose it. So I'm not going to choose a winner simply because I have to. We're going to make sure that we like it. The winner, if I choose your name and your logo and everything that you've posted, and I just modify it or keep it, then you're going to get $200 of spending money in the online MiniWarGaming store, and we'll give you a full set of every miniature that we make from this first run, however many it ends up being. So this first run is basically like the first 2 starter sets, or if we decide to do 3 starter sets, it'll be that. So that's basically what I define as the first run. On top of whatever else, if you've already contributed and you're getting some, you'll get those as well. So that's the prize. Now, if I only end up using part of it, like for example, I like your name, but I don't like the logo, then we'll give you part of the prize. We'll give you like $100 spending money or something like that. It's going to be a loose concept. And it's possible that I might get somebody else to do it and pay somebody to make the logo if I just don't like any of the contest entries. So don't take offense. I just want to make sure it's good. And of course, the main prize that you get is, hey, the name you came up with, and maybe even the logo you came up with, will be used in the game. And you can have bragging rights to say that, hey, I made that up. So the link is below or above. If you're watching this on Indiegogo's update page, it's above. If you're watching this on YouTube or on miniwargaming.com, it's below to that forum topic. So that's about it. I just wanted to let you know also that we have some new perks coming up. To answer your question, if you've already contributed, can you upgrade your perk or do you have to have multiples? The answer is whatever you choose. At the end, we're going to download everything, look at those who contributed multiple times and contact them and say, do you want to combine them for a higher perk or do you want to have multiples of the same perk? And it'll be completely up to you. So when you see the new perks come out, even if you like, let's say that there's a perk that's a $300 level perk and you've contributed 50 bucks, when you go to contribute more, it'll say you're not getting the perk if you only contribute $250. And I'm just saying this numbers as an example. Not all the perks will be that high. It'll say that you're not getting the perk, but we'll still look at everything at the end. So don't worry about what Indiegogo says you're getting. We'll give you that choice. So those are coming out this week too. Anyways, thanks for all your support. Don't forget to share this campaign with other people and on their websites. I've noticed that people have been spreading it all over the place. We're actually going to get into our local newspaper tomorrow as well. And we've been seeing this pop up in a lot of different places. So thank you for all your support. We still have 3 weeks to go. Obviously going to be able to hit 50,000 pretty easy. So our new goal is probably going to be around 60,000, but we got to come up with reasons for what we can do once we get there. For now, we're working on the 2 starter sets and see where we can go after that. This is Matthew from MiniWarGaming. Thank you for your support and happy